Friday night Forza Motorsport Spec Racing here live on Twitch TV. Let's get it going. AMS Storm now here on lap number 34 of 34. Jumps into the top spot. And here comes Maverick now, going to make a run to the inside on Drex, perhaps missing his mark. Good evening, good afternoon, maybe even good morning to those of you who are watching. Race fans around the world, welcome very much to X-Venture here live on Twitch TV and the return of the Forza Spec Racing Series. Season number 44 just about to get underway here at the top of the hour. We'll have qualifying. We'll have race number 1. We'll have a second round of qualifying followed by race number 2. We do that for the next 4 weeks and we cap it all off with a finale there in week number 5. We'll take a look at the schedule here in just a minute. I'm Dustin Moore. Great to be back. Yes, long time no see for some of those who really love the Forza Spec Racing Series content. But then as soon as I disappeared, you were like, deuces, peace, we're out. No, I am thrilled to be back on, relocated a couple of states over to the west and got a new job. And so I want to make sure everything was all sorted on the home front, at work, in the professional, personal sphere of my life. And now here we are 6 months after the conclusion of season 40, getting ready for season number 44. I couldn't be more excited. I hope you all are just as excited. Taking a look back at season number 43, in which was won by none other than LS Subaru. Actually went 2 seasons in a row. Season 42, season 43. What a wonderful thing that must be, huh? I know nothing of the sort. I know nothing about what it's like to win a couple of championships, esports or otherwise. But LS Subaru, there you see a cool 400 points. That means maxed out on championship points there in season 43, followed by Creatrum at 355, Audrex at 336. Then you see Chaos Fox, Born as Ghost, SFM Darkster, Cuda 93, Barney, Slow Motion Fire, Patches, Riley, and then the other 10 that you've got on the other side of the column there, from One Shot Moofles on down to Overseas Fox, and there are a few more. And all I could say to those who didn't make the leaderboard from season 43, who might be racing here in season 44, make it your goal to try to find yourself here in the top 20 on the standings. That's my way to kind of challenge you, is to give you that much of an incentive. Here is the schedule tonight. We've got 2 great ones starting out at Virginia International Raceway, the full circuit. And I say 2 great ones. I know a lot of people may look at this and go, oh gosh, VIR full. It's a handful, all right. VIR full, 14 laps, followed by Long Beach, the full circuit, 19 laps out there. Oh, stand by. We should be back. Sorry, a little glitch there on my end. I don't know if you all saw it. Week number 2, Dubai Mountain Circuit in reverse, followed by the Hockenheim Ring, and then week 3, we've got Mugello. Ooh, Mugello, I love that track. Suzuka full, and then Road Atlanta and Le Mans, the Bugatti circuit in week number 4. By the way, Suzuka in the wet, Le Mans, Bugatti at night, and then there for the finale, as I had mentioned not long ago, week number 5, 39 laps around the Nürburgring. They go ahead and save the drivers the green hell part. It'll be the Nürburgring Grand Prix. 39 laps around the green hell. We'd be here forever. I don't know if the Forza servers would be able to support such a long race. No, it'll be the Nürburgring Grand Prix, the GP. And at the end of that 5 weeks, whoever has the most points is crowned the champion. Those of you who have been skilled enough to be a Forza Spec Racing Series champion. You know the drill. You get to pick the vehicle for the subsequent season. Taking a look here at the chat, a lot of folks, new names and some familiar names there in the chat. I'll go ahead. Well, I'll try to start at the top. It's not going to let me scroll. Why can't I scroll in my own chat? How does this not work? Green3554, thank you so much. Lamb Slide, Big J Bishop, SDR Onion with too many eyes, Slow Motion Fire, Kuda93, DWM Frog, and I know there's a few more of you out there that are just kind of lurking, enjoying the show. That's perfectly all right. No worries. You can participate in the chat whenever you'd like or not. It's completely up to you. Looking in the lobby right now, we've got what looks to be 17 drivers currently in the lobby, which is, again, fantastic. Slow Motion Fire, Big J Bishop, Modern Weapon, the whole lot of veterans of the Forza Spec Racing Series do a great job hosting these events. And yeah, sure, Forza Motorsport 7 may be, what, 3-4 years old at this point, but they're still going strong. Fear the Fun, FZA Lemon, LS Barney, Patches Riley, Born as Ghost, Modern Weapon, Onion with Too Many Eyes, Aaron's LG, LS Subaru, trying to go back to back to back, Slow Motion Fire, The Witch Lady, Kuda93, Optic Shadow, Cratrium, SFM Darkser is in the mix. You all may know SFM Darkser from the Tora side of things here in the Forza community. Sprazouse and Audrex, like I said, 17 drivers of the 24 grid spots available. First time chat coming in from the Witch MD, the Witchy Lady here. Hopefully I don't make a fool of myself on the first race of the night. Completely okay. For those of you who are not familiar with the Forza Spec Racing Series, they consider themselves a beer league if you're under the age, perhaps a non-alcoholic beer beverage, but a beer league in the sense that, you know, they're definitely here for the competition, but really the goal is to have a heck of a lot of fun. And so get out here, whether you do great, whether you do somewhere in the middle, or you do not so hot, come back season after season, improve your skill time over again each season that passes, and then we hope to see you perhaps in the top 20, top 10, top 5, top 3, top spot. You just never know. All right, there's Slow Motion Fire warning me, saying, Dustin, get yourself into spectate mode already so we can start this dang qualifying session. 3 laps out at BIR full. And it looks like the 17 that we have in the lobby are locked in and ready to go. So let's go ahead and switch on over. And let's see. R4 Race Mode 1. I might have goofed that up. Thank you so much for the follow. Lamb Slide, thank you for the follow. Green3554, thank you for the follow. The Witch MD. And Born as Ghost from a couple of days ago when I last streamed. Born as Ghost with the Prime subscription for 15 months. All right, here we go. Riding on board there slightly. Short stint of time. Onion. Be the first to lead them out here at VIR. Into turn number 1, the Horseshoe. Followed by Subaru, Kuda, Aaron's, Fear the Fun, Patches Riley, Slow Motion Fire, Witch Lady, Audrex, and Lemon. Those are the top 10 out of the gate. Not only are the drivers all prepped in their vehicles that have been hand-tuned to some degree. Some folks spend a lot of time in the tuning garage and others don't. I would be the latter. I'd be like, hey, tell me what the upgrades are, and I'll just race them as is. But beyond just any tuning that you could do, drivers are definitely encouraged to go above and beyond with their liveries. And so you'll see a lot of custom liveries out here on the 1973 Mazda RX-3. Let's go ahead to LS Subaru, who is our back-to-back champion here. Season 42, Season 43. Trying to be one of the very few, if not the first. I would have to actually go back into the annals of the Forza Spec Racing Series history to remind myself whether or not there has been a 3-time champion. I believe there was one driver who was oh so close, but it did not happen. Can anybody guess who that might have been? Darkser says, oh, it's his face. Yeah, good thing we got rid of that pretty quickly, huh? Throw some stats here into the bottom left for you. As the drivers come across the line, we'll see who is setting the quickest time out there. Let's go to Aaron's, who seems to be a bit stalled there on the backside of the track. That's going to be out there 14. No, pardon me. That's on the very early first half of the track. So 6A, the snake there, the front part of this quite lengthy VIR circuit. And my apologies here. We're hanging on a little bit too long. Let's go back over to LS Subaru. Got some traffic to contend with, at least on our screen. Now, as you can kind of notice there, Onion's car is ghosting out as Subaru is approaching. However, to have somebody right there in your peripheral, or not even in your peripheral, just right there in your view, your forward-looking view, it can make it tricky to eye those apexes. So we'll see if that affects Subaru whatsoever. Not the case at the moment. 2:10.681. Currently the quickest lap there off the standing start. Let's go ahead and flip on through the field here. Let's go to Fear the Fun. Currently with the third quickest time. Making his way out of the left hook, then turn number 5, and then out onto this squiggly straight that is 6A, 7, 8, and 9 before you hit turn number 10, which is the somewhat sharp left-hander. It's only sharp because you come up over the hill carrying a lot of speed from the squigglies, and then you got to line it up nicely to get into what used to be, I don't know if they call it anymore, Oak Tree right here, turn 11 and 12. Yes, it is considered 2 turns. Then out onto the second half of the circuit. LS Subaru is approaching the Madison Avenue chicane there on that back straightaway. And then we'll hit roller coaster there for 14A down the hill toward Pigpen and then the front straightaway. AMS Storm says nobody's done 3 in a row in the Forza Spec Racing Series era. Huracan 33, 34, and 36. Can't remember who stole 35 from him, says AMS Storm. Yes, that's the name I was looking for. Huracan was very, very close to going 3 championships in a row. And as LS Subaru crosses the line at the end of lap number 2, is not bested by anybody at this point, only improves his own time, 2 minutes, 6 seconds, .871. Heart you back there, Born as Ghost. Good to see you again. I was mentioning upgrades here. So we've got a C500 class car in Forza Motorsport 7. C-Class is about middle of the road, maybe even a little bit less than middle of the road in terms of overall performance. Looking at 233 horsepower, 199 foot-pounds of torque. Vehicle weighing in at 1,799 pounds. Partially to thank for that reduced weight. Not even partially. The bulk of the reduced weight is thanks to the race weight reduction upgrade. Aaron's getting a little bit sideways, coming up over the curbing through 6 and 6A. Underneath the Nissan bridge. All right, folks, we're going to see if everything works out smoothly here tonight. It was kind of a mad dash. Having not done this in quite some time, I was a little uncertain as to whether or not I had all my ducks in a row. And I assure you, I did not. I actually had to go and scramble for a few things right before qualifying here. But let's see if we can make this thing run without a hitch. And for those of you who maybe can't stick around for the entirety of tonight's race, or perhaps you're joining us a little bit later on in the broadcast, or maybe you have to duck in and out, do know that we'll have the replay right after this live broadcast, but then also the video will be available on demand here on Twitch, the video tab, and then also in about a week's time over on YouTube. All right, LS Subaru, 206.583, able to do even better there on that third qualifying lap, the third and final. As you see slow motion fire there in the background, crosses the line. There goes Audrex. And LS Subaru stands to be the driver to beat. Will be on pole. All right, we had a little prediction going of how many drivers would finish out their qualifying with dirtied laps. 94% of you said it would be only 0 to 3 drivers, whereas 6% of you said there would be 4 or more dirtied qualifiers. We'll take a look at the final standings here as the final driver comes across the line. Or at least what I think to be the final driver. We may have a straggler. We may have somebody who is not on the third and final lap there, which is okay. SDR Onion there in the chat says, dirtied my second flyer in the last corner. Sad face. Everybody, sad faces for Onion there in the chat. Onion with too many eyes. When you have too many eyes, you cry. Hence the crying sad face there for Onion. That or he chopped onions. Landslide going to go ahead and throw one in there for you too. All right, I'm going to go ahead and duck back out. I know the qualifying is yet to complete, but they will get that that timer. We'll go ahead and close things out for them. And they'll head back to the lobby, and we'll take a look at those finishing times, their top times for each driver here shortly. Predictions, as I mentioned, we ran those for the first qualifying session. We'll have one here for race number 1. It's a great way for you to kind of interact with the channel. Gives you a chance to wager some of your channel points, which have no monetary value whatsoever, so go all in if you wish, or be as frugal as you'd like. I would like to say, though, that whenever we have a great amount of support for the channel by way of subscriptions and such, all that money, well, not all that money, but a good chunk of that money often comes back to the viewers, like yourself, in the form of giveaways, and those channel points are what you use to enter those giveaways. So use them as you wish, bet them as you wish and as you may, but know that the more that you have for those instances where I am able to throw a giveaway up for grabs, the more entries you may be able to claim. So keep that in mind. And then, of course, at any time you've got questions about the broadcast, you've got questions about the racing action, do please let me know there in the chat. We try to keep this as fun, interactive, engaging as possible. And likewise, we try to keep it as family-friendly as possible. So I know every once in a while a funny word will slip, but we'll try to keep it pretty much in line and cordial here on the channel. I do appreciate that. All right, here are the standings. Not the standings. Here are the final times coming out of qualifying. And as I scroll through, I can see we only have 2 dirty laps. So those of you who have already voted with your predictor, gonna go ahead and give you the win there, get you your channel points. There you go. All right, LS Subaru 206.583, Fear the Fun with a 212, surprising out of Fear the Fun there, not the quickest time on the chart by far. Kuda 93 with a 211.419, Onion with a 213.841, the Witchy Lady with a 209.149, a sub 210. Well done there. Slow Motion Fire also just below that 210 mark with a 209.938. Audrex coming in at a 210.922. FZA Lemon with a 209.428, Crate Trim at a 207, Barney with a 209, Patches Riley with a 214, a 207 there by SFM Darkser, Modern Weapon with a 212, a 217 Dirtied for Sprazows, Born as Ghost with a 210, Optic Shadow with a 215, and Aaron's LG with a 222. All right, let's go ahead and see if there is anybody in the interview section, and sure enough, now let's see. Oh, well, he was there. Let me try this again. Fear the Fun, can you hear me? Radio check, 1, 2, 3.
How you doing, boss man?
Hey, I'm doing fantastic. How about yourself tonight?
I'm doing great. It's happy. Good to see you back, man.
It is wonderful to be back. As I mentioned to everybody, it was not of my choosing, but things happening in the real world that I wanted to make sure that we're all squared away. And here we are, beginning of 2022, getting ready for race number 1 of season 44. What do you think of the 1973 Mazda RX-3?
You know what it reminds me a lot of?
The
That
Subaru Brat that maybe you guys drove two seasons ago?
no, it reminds me of the Alphas we did. Well,
Oh,
I can't remember
really?
what they're called. Yeah,
The
it drives
Alpha.
like them. It doesn't have nearly or as much understeer, but it's very, very similar.
So I did, granted, I do very limited testing whenever when I learn what the vehicles are for each season. I went ahead and souped up the RX-3 and then took it out on the track. Seems pretty torquey, close to 200 foot-pounds of torque, sitting right there at 199. So do you have to be a little bit careful, or do you just make some adjustments to the car to help offset a little bit of that torque?
You have to be a little careful. It likes to get up on the tires a little bit when you get on the throttle. You just got to do a little bit of maintenance.
A little,
Granted, not great tires.
yeah,
Also, not the widest tires out there.
little,
But it's fun to drive.
little
It's got a
skinny.
decent amount of groove.
Gotcha. Talking with Fear the Fun here in the chat, getting ready for race number 1 of season 44. Fear the Fun, maybe could have shaved a few seconds off your qualifying time.
Oh yeah, I did terrible. I ran a 208, mid 208 in practice. I just botched it in qualifying.
And VIR is like the bane of existence in multiplayer lobbies here in FM7, at least from what I know a lot of people saying. What is your take on the car track combination here for race 1?
I don't mind VIR or this layout of VIR. The rest of VIR kind of gets a little wonky because they add in the go kart sections and whatnot, and it just makes it way more complicated than it needs to be. It's plus there's a lot of blind tills and whatnot. But the full regular IMSA layout of VIR is very fun to drive. It's very flowy. It's very technical. But if you hit it right, you're fast.
You hit it right, you are fast. And I don't know. I'm trying to think of a few corners that are a nuisance. Not the back chicane that is Madison Avenue, but just a little bit further down the road from that is 1414A before you head into roller coaster. It's a right-hander before you go downhill. That's always tricky for me. Even setting up the left-hander, turn number 10 before you hit the oak tree corners. That one's always tricky for me because you're going so fast down that front section that I forget that you got to slow down a little bit. Fear the Fun, LS Subaru has gone back-to-back season 42, 43. Do you guys have a hit out on him to try to end the reign of terror and keep any driver in FM7's history or FM4's history from going back to back to back?
I mean, if you mean as in hit, as in like no longer exists on the track, no.
Well, no.
Maybe
I don't. Do you send a back marker after him or keep a back marker back for him? Who coordinates these things? What's the plan?
I mean, we might got some sneaky stuff up our sleeves if he comes across a back marker. Don't be surprised if he goes spinning off the track, maybe does a flip or two, just does a little bit of showboating.
Well, sometimes here at VIR, it doesn't require any sort of distraction or obstacle in your way to find yourself in a big incident early on. A lot of grass, what seems like to go for miles if you get off the track. So one mistake by LS Subaru or any of the 16 other drivers out on the track could spell big trouble. Fear the Fun, great chatting with you. Hope to catch up again here a little bit later tonight.
You too. Have a good call.
Thank you. All right, there you go. The driver's spotlight here on X Venture. Always lovely to chat with some of the drivers, get their thoughts on the vehicle, how they're driving, how they're taking to the cars, the track, maybe their surroundings, their competitors. So as we go through the season, you can expect to hear from many more of our drivers. Always a lot of fun. A lot of fun. All right, the drivers are readying up. We're almost there. Let me go ahead and throw a quick little prediction in the chat, just so that we have this one here. Will Subaru, LS Subaru, win race number 1? I'm going to give you guys a little bit of time. So we're going to get through a few laps of the race here before this poll is actually done, or this predictor is actually done. Wager as many of your channel points as you'd like. Again, they have no monetary value whatsoever. And it's all for fun, and perhaps as we get a little bit closer or a little bit further on into the season, maybe we'll have something to give away, and you could use your channel points to to make that happen. Oh my gosh. What do we got going on? I'm missing something. I heard the buzzer earlier. Okay, FemRacer. Thank you for the follow. I think that's what it was. I forgot that I changed the sounds a little bit. Usually the air wrench meant something else. FemRacer. R for race, mode 1, landslide green, and the Witch MD. Again, thank you all so much for the support with the follows. Greatly appreciate it. Lets me know as the broadcaster that I'm doing something right. That or you just want to see what is happening in FM4 and you could care less about what I'm saying. All right, here we go. We are on the line with LS Subaru. And because out here at VIR they start on an onboard cam, that's how we'll start. And we'll get off here just real quick. There it is. LS Subaru leads them down the front straightaway. Kick the tires, light the fires. Forza Spec Racing Series is back live on X-Venture here at Twitch TV. LS Subaru keeping it clean through turn number 1, then number 2, the horseshoe. I see a little bit of tire smoke there in the background. Let's look back there. Let's go to SFM Darkser now in 5th position, right behind LS Barney. Right behind Darkser is FZA Lemon. And Lemon was looking to maybe go side by side. Not the greatest of ideas there through turn number 4, that left hook. Reconsiders, gets back onto the rear bumper. And now, out of 5, 5A, here they come. That long squiggly bit. Oh, and we've already got the loading screen. Unfortunately, it's likely to mean we've lost somebody. And we've got a driver off the track. Let's go take a look who that is real quick. That's going to be Born as Ghost. Born as Ghost. And yes, that vehicle is in a bad way right now. You see damage, and of course, the fact that he's not accelerating out onto the track all that quickly suggests that there is some severe damage to that RX-3 here very early on. Now hanging out with Fear the Fun, who we just chatted with there in the driver's spotlight in 10th position. Started quite a ways back after the lackluster qualifying. Let's go to SFM Darkser again, who is still in 4th position. Down what is called the roller coaster. Then into 15, 16, and 17 now, the Hog Pen. I'm pretty sure I've heard the story behind that name. I just don't remember it right now. FemRacer cheering on the Witchy Lady. Let's go see where we can find the Witchy Lady. Up in 3rd. And the loading screen unfortunately strikes again. Say it ain't so. We'll take a look there on the top. The top bar. Optic Shadow looks to be our DNF. I swear there's got to be another one. Maybe not. SFM Darkser getting a couple wheels off, or at least that front right wheel up off the ground. That got him squiggly, and now SFM Darkser is going to try to take advantage of that. Actually, it was the Witchy Lady getting a few, I keep saying a few wheels. It was just that front right wheel, and was able to keep it composed. That has got to be the save of the day so far. And we're only a couple of minutes in here to season 44 racing. My, oh my, and I've lost the cap to my pen. This is not good. This is not good. Gotta try to recover that. It's the only way that my pen will continue to work. All right, I think I'm all right. Saved. Saved. Lampslide says, if Ghost gets a bullet bill, they could still make a comeback. Yeah. don't know about that. I mean, it's possible. Borna's Ghost in 15th position right now, about to be lapped. Let's go to 10th with slow motion fire. Down the front straightaway, across the line for the beginning of lap number 3. You see Kuda 93 right there behind him in 11th. Where is Shells? Asks Green. I'll need to know Shell's gamer tag. That one, that alternate name escapes me. Sprazouse, unfortunately, was the other DNF, so I figured there were two. Sprazouse and Optic Shadow, unfortunately, out. Oh, you're talking, oh, the Bullet Bill and the Shells. I'm tracking now. My wit isn't there yet. We haven't made it that far into the season. Not that that would help me at all. Kuda 93, yeah, they get some air getting up there. Let's go back to when the Witchy Lady, and let's see if this works. Again, anything could happen in this attempt to get over to the X-Venture replay. Play that beautiful bean footage. Nope. That's not what you want to see. I tried. I'll have to see if I can come back to it. Let's go up to second place with Cratrim, who is managing to keep a pretty good pace with Subaru, but lap after lap, Subaru is taking off. You see him out there in those the Golf colors. And my, oh my, what do we have here? We've got Kaiser Roll 55. Thank you for the follow. Welcome. Go back to Witchy Lady in third position. And now across the line for the beginning of lap number 4, followed by SFM Darkser. And in fifth, you've got FZA Lemon, followed by LS Barney, Fear the Fun, Onion with Too Many Eyes, Drex, and Slow Motion Fire round out the top 10. In 11th, it's Kuda 93, Modern Weapon in 12th, Patches Riley in 13th, Aaron is in 14th, Born is Ghost is 15th, and again, we lost Sprazouse and Optic Shadow here earlier. Very early, like lap number 1 early. And then in 15th place, that being Born as Ghost, we saw get tangled up with somebody early on off the track and was damaged, able to make it back to pit lane to get repaired, and is starting to catch up. Well, I mean, considering where he was previously, he's on the opposite end of the track right now, finishing up his lap number 3. But who knows? Maybe able to claim a spot or two before this one is over. There goes Witchy Lady wide out of turn number 11 and 12. Here comes Darkser to the inside. They're going to go side by side. Down the backstretch they come. Who's going to take the lead going into Madison Avenue? The 1973 Mazda RX-3 C500 class here in Forza Motorsport 7. The Witchy Lady jumps out in, reclaims third position, at least tentatively. Got a Zelda livery on there, I think. SFM Darkser right there on that back bumper. A little bit of tire smoke out of the Witchy Lady's back wheels. Maybe locking them up a little bit. Out onto the front straightaway, out of Pigpen, across the line, beginning of lap number 5. And now into turn number 1. Darkser's going to look to the outside. Witchy Lady locks it down on the apex. Here comes Darkser, able to get up onto that rear right quarter panel. Makes a little bit of sparks fly. Stays on the outside. That's not exactly where you want to be. Now heading into turn number 3. NASCAR Ben, and with that, Witchy Lady reclaims the spot for now. Into turn number 4, it is left hook. Then it's turn 5, of course, because after 4 is 5. Amazing. Witchy Lady's going to hold on to it now, all the while with Lady and Darkser battling it out for third. You don't have to look far behind to find FZA Lemon right there in big position. And here they go, bumper to bumper, the avenue's packed. And up over the hump they go, a couple of wheels in the air. How they maintain the stability of those cars, I don't know. Darkser is giving Witchy Lady all kinds of hell as she goes off the track into the grass, able to make a recovery down here as they head back into Oak Tree. Lady to the inside. Here comes Lemon looking to the inside. It looked like it could have possibly been 3 wide there coming out of 12. And instead, they'll go single file formation. Oh, this is good. This is why I'm back. This is fun. Side by side, Darkser is going to continue to peer out the up to the side there, maybe just, a little bit into Witchy Lady's rear view mirror, and continues to harass that back bumper. I think it's a Zelda paint. Looks great, and it's staying straight. Keeping the nose of the car pointed in the right direction. Fem Racer there in the chat says Witchy Lady is holding on so well. Agreed. Whew, and here they come back toward the line for what is only going to be the beginning of lap number 6, my friends. Kick back, relax, grab yourself a beverage, perhaps a snack. You're hanging out here with X-Venture. Twitch TV on a Tuesday night. No better way to spend it. At least in my opinion. Here comes Darkser now, once again to the inside, whereas last time it was harassment on the rear right quarter panel. This time they're going to go door to door, rocker panel to rocker panel. Darkser now going to continue to hold on to the outside there through turn 3, does not concede whatsoever, goes onto the runoff section into turn 4 once again, and it is 3, 4, 5, Witchy Lady, Darkser, and Lemon. Lemon's just sitting there licking his chops, just ready to pounce, ready to strike. Take 2 spots in one. Oh, no, and it looks like Lemon. Yeah, well, okay, he's got the vehicle back on the tarmac. Maybe 2 or 3 wheels off into the grass. It seemed to upset the car a little bit. Now here they come up over the hump. Whoop, whoop. And now Lemon peels off a little bit. Pun unintended. Not intended. That's okay. I like to make up words and phrases. And now Witchy Lady back into 11 where it has been so competitive. Of course, I say that. Darkser's been battling Lady the entire length of the track here. Six laps in. Did the replay work this time? Did it work this time? No. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't know what's going on. I'll try it again here in a second. Maybe fix it during our intermission. Whew! I don't even need coffee. The only reason I'm drinking coffee right now is to unparch my mouth. Here comes Witchy Lady now, back down the roller coaster. 16 and 17. Oink, oink, the hog pin. 17A, straight away, cross the line. 7 begins. LS Subaru, our race leader out there. By at what point right now, or by at this point, just seems like a mile. Cratrium in no man's land here, coming out of turn number 2. Holding on as good as anybody could expect right now with LS Subaru. 95% of you, by the way, wagering a total of 13,000 channel points, or executables as they're called out here on the channel, say that LS Subaru will win the race. A few of you, or 5 of you, venturing to say, nah, he's not going to. But you weren't very confident about it because you only wagered 1.1 thousand. 1,100. And pardon me, those who said yes actually wagered 21.3 thousand. 21,300 points. I think you're going to get those all back, barring any sort of mistake. FCA Lemon, as we go back to our real strong battle here from 3rd on back to 5th. Let's move back over to Darkser, who continues to ride it out in 4th position. You see the scratch marks all up and down the side of the car there. It takes two to tango, and Witchy Lady and Darkser have done that to the nth degree here at VIR. Who would have known VIR was such a lovely dance hall? Fem Racer says, I didn't have enough points. I couldn't do more. Wager more, Fem Racer. I can't. I've wagered them all. Out of roller coaster. LS Subaru is going to come across the line. It's going to put us a little bit more than halfway through this race because that 15th lap that you see in the upper left, that's just going to be a cool-down lap. Witchy Lady is going to go ahead and cut the grass there. All four tires touching grass, and now back out onto the asphalt. Oh, look at that view right there. Get low in the ground, and now here goes Witchy Lady locking him up. That's going to allow Darkser to make the move here through the horseshoe, and by gosh, he's got it. Darkser has worked hard for it. I'd say he's earned it. Up to third position, Darkser goes for now. We'll see if Witchy Lady's got it in her to come back and steal that position, try to take back that podium. FZA Lemon right there, hanging out. Looking for the right opportunity to make a move. Underneath the Michelin Bridge. Replay? No. I think I know what the problem might be. I'm going to have to wait until intermission, though. I think I know what the problem is. I just need to wait till intermission. We'll get that instant replay going again. I told you there was going to be something. There was going to be something about tonight's stream that just wouldn't be right. Let's go ahead and ride on board here with the Witchy Lady through the back half of lap number 8. Darkser off the track. And just like that, the Witchy Lady is contending for third once again. I've said it once, I'll say it again, and I'll say it a third time if I have to. Side by side, down the front stretch they come into turn number 1. The Witchy Lady, late to brake, locks it up, gets out in front of Darkser, and just like that, has made the move. Well done. Why do I get the feeling that's not the last time we're going to see this change in position? Darkser trying to make it happen in the very next corner. Backside of the Witchy Lady's car getting squiggly there. That 73 Mazda going for a bit of a ride. Able to get it planted once again. 199 foot-pounds of torque, 233 horsepower, and they continue to bash door panels. Neither of these drivers are going to be able to get out of their car when it's all said and done. You guys having fun? Y'all having fun? I'm having a heck of a good time. And oh, we've got lap traffic now getting in the way. It's going to be Aaron's able to stay kind of off to the left-hand side there as Witchy and Darkser get through turn number 10. Great racing, says DWM Frog. We've got some Forza Spec Racing Series, whatchamacallits, logos for you all to use there in the chat. All you have to do is follow the channel and you can use that orange Forza Spec Racing Series logo. Built by Cuda93. Born as Ghost, by the way, ducking out of this race, I believe, voluntarily. Things were just not going right since lap number 1, and so Born as Ghost is really going to have to turn it on through the four remaining weeks. Witchy Lady getting up on 2 wheels. How did that thing not roll over? That was incredible. Witchy Lady brings it back down on all 4. Will this be the battle of the season right here or what? Third time, side by side, into Horseshoe they come. SFM Darkser continues to just, I don't know, find a way. I don't understand how he does it, but that turn number 1 and 2, that's where he just likes to, I don't know. I don't know if it's his tune that allows him to have a little bit better acceleration out of those corners or just the driving style. Whatever it is, that's where he's best, and he's going to hold it all the way through 3, 4, 5, 6, 6A, under the bridge once again. THR try passing, rooting on Darkser there in the chat. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me here tonight. This is well worth the price of admission. Wouldn't y'all agree? Born as Ghost says, tune was too wonky. Had to keep catching ridiculous sim twitches. It was exhausting. Born as Ghost having some troubles with the car. Going to have to try to get those sorted out. Maybe ahead of race number 2. And then most certainly before week number 2. We'll be back live again a week from tonight. Right here, same time, same channel, 8 p.m. Eastern, week number 2. We'll talk more about what's to come here throughout Season 44 a little bit later on. Yeah, we haven't moved the camera much. You wonder why? You don't have to wonder much, and it's not even the only battle out on the track. You got Lemon, who's still hanging out here, just kind of watching from a distance at this point. Looks to be about 7 or 8 car lengths behind. Then you've got LS Barney on an island. Audrex and Onion are fighting it out for 7th position. Fear the Fun and Slow Motion Fire there in 9th, 10th, and then followed by Kuda in 11th. Let's go quickly. Back to 11th. There's Kuda with the Wonka bar. I love it. The Wonka bar livery. Got Slow Motion Fire, Fear the Fun up there, 9, 10, and 11. Well done by Fear the Fun, having to come back from a little bit further back in the pack after an abysmal qualifying session. And then you go to Onion with Too Many Eyes here in 8th position. Just behind Audrex. Audrex, one of the tried and true series veterans here. A dark horse many times here in the Forza Spec Racing Series. Has finished seasons in 4th, 5th position more times than I have fingers on my hands. He's just consistently good. Riding in 7th position currently. Surprise, surprise, Witchy Lady and Darkser were side by side, lining it up for 10. Here comes Darkser on the back bumper, now through 11, where the old oak tree used to reside. R.I.P. F to the oak tree. Darkser lining it up on the inside. Taking far more risks than I would be willing to accept ever. I'm very risk adverse. And Darkser, he finds a reason. He finds the fortitude in him to be like, nah, I'm going for it. I don't care if there's a corner or a series of corners coming up. I'm lining this sucker up. Down the stretch they go for the beginning of lap number 12 of 14. Next time by, check that, 2 laps from now, drivers will be getting the white flag. Again, that 15th lap you see in the upper left is just a cool down lap. Folks, if you're watching the channel, you like what you see, and you haven't yet clicked that follow button, please do. It'd be greatly appreciated. You'll get a nice little air wrench sound out of it, I think. And then if you have notifications turned on here on Twitch, you'll get a notification whenever I do go live, which is Tuesdays, Fridays, Sundays. And then we'll look forward to seeing you back. There goes SFM Darkster getting the 2 right wheels onto the curbing there, trying to extend the track as much as possible, as much as the Forza Spec Racing Series will allow. Again, yes, it is a beer league, but they do wish that the drivers kind of maintain track awareness where you are, that you're mindful of the lines. SFM Darkster well within there with the other 2 tires. So I'm not calling SFM Darkster out, but for those of you who are curious, you think this looks fun and you want to participate, as long as you can keep it within the white lines, at the very least 2 tires, and then you can race clean. That's all they ask. You don't have to be the most competitive driver on the track. You don't even have to be at the very end. You don't even have to be the caboose of this train getting around the circuit. But as long as you race clean, stick it out too. Like if you duck because things just aren't going right and you're being more of a hindrance on the track than you would desire, then sure, duck out. But stay out there and continue to improve your skill. If not with just this car, then to carry some of that experience moving over into the next season. And so when they wipe that slate clean and everybody starts anew, who knows how good you'll be, depending on what the vehicle is, depending on how you take to the vehicle, and who knows, maybe you'll do much better. So head on over to reddit.com/r/FM4 for more information about the series. And I'm sure Slow Motion Fire & Company will be happy to have you, even now. Even if you want to join in here, beginning with week number 2. You won't be able to get in on week 1 action, but if you wanted to get in on week number 2, you'll still be in the running for the championship. You will have lost your drop week privilege, because week 1 will effectively serve as your drop week, but you'll be in the running for the championship through weeks number 2, 3, and 4, with the finale in 5. Witchy Lady low there on the apex out of 4. Actually, that was turn 5. My, oh my. I don't know if we've seen a battle that lasts this long in a single race as much as this one. And there goes Witchy Lady getting a little bit of a bump there with that SFM Darkster. SFM Darkster was the one who caught air, not only on that front right, but the rear right as well. Darkster 2 wheels on the ground, the other 2 up in the sky, and fortunately for Darkster, had Witchy Lady there to kind of lean on. You know, like in Gran Turismo back in the day on the PlayStation, you know, you would use the driver, the AI, as kind of like a way to keep you running your line through the corners. Darkster inadvertently did that there. He was relying on that vehicle opposite of him to keep him on the track. Across the line goes LS Subaru for the final lap. The white flag flies here. 14 total out at VIR International. Well, that's what the I stands for, but Virginia International Raceway full circuit. Race number 1, season 44, is well underway. All right, here we go. Final lap fun. SFM Darkster goes low. Witchy Lady goes high, side by side, able to avoid the dirt. That's good. And now here they come up to turn number 3. Witchy Lady into NASCAR Bend is going to have the advantage. SF Darkster is going to run it a little bit wide as a result. And so there you go. You see it. Fortunately for Darkster, there is that runoff over there. Allows him to keep his car out of the grass. And now here they come through 5. This is just amazing. You would think that there were magnets attached to the side of these 2 vehicles, how close they're keeping it and staying on the track with all this grass out here at VIR. It is phenomenal. If you're a fan of Forza Racing and you weren't watching this live, or if you're not watching this at all, you're missing out. This is where it's at. Here comes up the hill Witchy Lady, Darkster 3 and 4. Cratrin, by the way, who just hasn't gotten enough love in this race, is up there in 2nd position. He's just going for a Sunday drive right now. Witchy Lady gets turned around a little bit as SFM Darkster, I think maybe was thinking, wow, Witchy Lady, you're a little bit slow coming out of 10 or out of 11. And so he had to adjust for it, which meant a little bit of a tap there on the rear bumper. Now side by side, down that back straightaway they go into Madison Avenue, which is effectively turn 13 here at VIR. It's amazing there's any paint left on these vehicles. You'd think it would have just rubbed right off. No paint remaining. And here with the final left-hander up on two wheels once again, able to save it. Darkster goes wide. Here comes FCA Lemon. FCA Lemon up to fourth position. Witchy Lady out third. Does she have enough speed to hold off Lemon? Lemon right there in fourth position. Undoubtedly looking to the outside, maybe down low to the inside, across the line. And that's where they'll finish. LS Subaru is your race winner. Cratrium in second. Witchy Lady in third. Lemon in fourth, Darkser in fifth. Let's quickly jump back to ninth. That's going to be Kuda93 trying to hold off Fear the Fun. Yes, Fear the Fun in 10th position, and that's where those two will finish out. So Fear the Fun in ninth, or excuse me, Fear the Fun in 10th, followed by Slow Motion Fire, unfortunately dropping out of the top 10. Modern Weapon in 12th, Patches Riley in 13th, Aaron's in 14th, and unfortunately we had those three disconnects or DNFs of Born as Ghost, Brazows, and Optic Shadow. Holy smokes. Holy smokes. That's all I have to say. I'm going to take a quick break. A very quick break. I'm gonna make note of where everybody finished here. Hopefully I have enough voice to make it through. Yes, we've got the new intermission screen with the bouncy emotes. Go ahead, spam that chat with all your emotes. Let them dance there on the intermission screen. For those of you who are subscribers to the channel, we're going to play some nice, fun music for you. For those of you who are not subscribers to the channel, I appreciate your support, and the way that you can best give to the channel at this moment is just to hang tight. Don't go anywhere. I'm going to run 3 minutes worth of ads. I promise you, you're not going to miss a thing. This allows me to not run ads through the normal broadcast, through the normal racing action, and it allows folks who join us a little bit later on to go ahead and bypass those pre-rolls. I'm Dustin Moore. You're watching one heck of a start to season 44 of the Forza Spec Racing Series, week number 1. We'll be right back and stuff. All right, welcome back to I think the ads are done. Yes, it's been a while. Like I said, thanks for those of you who did see the ads for hanging tight, bearing with me there through those. Again, you missed nothing apart from some audio playing, and that was it. Great racing from everyone there. That was fun. So slow motion fire there in the chat. Which MD says from my perspective that race was. Um, Eventful. Yeah, I would say so as well from our perspective. And then Onion with Too Many Eyes says, I got to see a lot of Audrex's rear bumper. Did he polish it at least? Did he polish the rear bumper at least? Let's go see if there's anybody here in the driver spotlight. And as a matter of fact, SDR Onion, Too Many Eyes. What's the correct pronunciation there of your name? How should I be pronouncing this instead of Onion with Too Many Eyes?
It's just onion. I mean, you can keep saying onion with one too many eyes. I think it's got a nice ring to it.
Okay, will do. And I'm going to see if I can boost you a little bit. There we go. I boosted your audio on my end a little bit. We'll see if that works out for you. But finishing out, you said behind Audrex. So, like I asked, did he at least polish the thing? Was it nice and shiny there for you? What was the view like?
It was a little scratched up at the end there.
Speaking of scratched up, there seemed to be a little bit of, as you would expect, with 17 cars starting out the race, a little bit of a shoving and unfortunately an accident there, born as Ghost. Were you caught up in any of that whatsoever, or were you able to escape unscathed?
No, I was able to scoot by all nice and clean.
Very good. And then from that point on, it was just kind of, I say smooth sailing, easy for me to say, but was it pretty straight and narrow from that point forward?
Yeah, I just got to sit behind Audrex, and I mean, there's a little bit at the start there where I was running off the track in the grass there. A couple people got by, and I was able to get back by and just sat behind him the whole race. I was saying he should put some stickers on there. I'd have something to look at.
There you go. Yeah, some bumper stickers for the 73 Mazda RX-3. Talking with Onion here in the driver spotlight in between race number 1, getting ready for the qualifying of race number 2. I mentioned Born as Ghost getting off the track. He said his setup was a bit twitchy. How are you liking what you've got going on with the RX-3, at least through race number 1?
It's definitely special. I mean, it's unlike anything I've ever driven in the game before.
I wouldn't say in a good way or a bad way.
I mean, that's up to interpretation. Depends on the lap. We'll say that. Some laps, best car I've ever driven. Some laps, sorry, I would rather drive literally a boat on the track.
Would rather drive a boat. This thing, anything but a boat in terms of the weight, 1,799 pounds. So it's a quite light vehicle. Is it the torque associated with the turbo? Is it just I don't know. It's the top end gutlessness of the car, or is it just its handling? What is it that you just are not loving at this point?
It's got some real soft suspension, and it's an older car, so it's really soft. Mm-hmm. And then the addition of front aero only really just the car plows in the start of the corner and oversteers out the back at the end of a corner. So
chances, give us a percentage here of a chance that you will be seeing the front of Audrex's bumper perhaps in your rearview mirror for race number 2 at Long Beach.
Oh God, I don't know. I didn't see how fast he was running in practice. We'll have to see in qualifying. Depends on if I actually qualify with a faster lap than my out lap.
Got it. All right. Well, Onion, hey, best of luck in this one. Finding your way around Audrex and perhaps a few other drivers here on the track. Of course, we've got qualifying first, but good luck to you.
Thank you. Welcome back as well.
Thank you. All righty. You guys, like I said, you probably know him with his association with the Online Racing Association, a big presence within the Forza community. As a matter of fact, Tora just announcing their endurance schedule for 2022. SFM Darkster has entered the chat. Darkster, enough talk of Tora. I've done my little bump there. You had an amazing battle, quite possibly the best battle I've ever seen in FM4 there with the Witchy Lady.
Yeah, that was genuinely just grinning ear to ear fun. banging doors, banging wheels, touching bumpers, side by side through the S's like 5 or 6 times. Just, oh, it was so much fun.
Was that anticipated? Is this something that you've seen maybe in past seasons? My apologies to the witchy lady not knowing if she had participated in previous seasons. Perhaps maybe taking a look at qualifying times. Like, was this completely expected, or was this like out of the blue for you here entering VIR?
I've raced against her a couple times, but never this closely. So like I know she's fast, but we've just never had the opportunity to go wheel to wheel very much. But that was probably one of the most even fights I have ever had. And I've been doing league races like this all the way back to like 2015. So that tells you a lot right there.
VIR, speaking with SFM Darkster, by the way, here in the driver's spotlight as we get ready for qualifying for race number 2. VIR, it is forgiving. It gives you room to kind of go side to side, maybe make a few mistakes, get out on the grass. Same cannot be said for Long Beach. So how do you, quote unquote, clean it up a little bit here to avoid like a very devastating accident, possibly even terminal damage?
I'm going to be completely honest with you, Dustin. I haven't run a lap yet at this track, so I honestly don't know. But I imagine the way that my car is set up might work a little better here because I have it kind of understeery, so I can just kind of aim at the wall and slide past it. But it might be a bit of a bloodbath here.
That's the exact teaser that the viewers need to hear right now. Is that one? It could be, well, it's your first lap out here at Long Beach in this car, and it could be a bloodbath. You just set us up for good viewership for the remaining of the broadcast.
You're welcome.
SFM Darkster finishing out there in 5th position, by the way, because after the accident, not an accident, but mistake there on the last couple of corners out at VIR, fell behind not only the Witchy Lady, but then also Lemon. Best of luck to you qualifying at Long Beach and in race number 2.
Thanks, man. I'm glad to see you back. It's good to see your face, literally.
Yeah, well, some may disagree, but yes, great to be back.
I mean.
Alrighty, so all the drivers, they'll get rated up. We are missing somebody in the lobby, so unfortunately, we are one driver shy of where we were starting things out at VIR, down to 16 drivers. That's okay, but like I said, plenty of opportunity for those of you who are watching this and thinking, hey, that might be a great time for me to get in on the action and possibly, prep yourself for the next Forza Motorsport title. Is sign up. Go on to reddit.com/r/fm4. Nightbot has dropped the link in the chat for you there. Head on over there. Let your presence be known. Say, hey, I'd like to participate. Take a look at their rules and information section. That's got everything you need to know in terms of upgrading your car, what driving aids are and are not allowable here in the Forza Spec Racing Series, and of course all the other things that you would want to know and need to know before you get started here. I had a prediction running, but then I realized that I didn't set enough time for that. So let's go. Where will Fear the Fun qualify for race number 2? And we'll say top 10 or 11th or worse. We're going to go ahead and give that one 5 minutes. Make your wagers quick. Make them quick here because the qualifying will start very, very soon, and it won't last long. Long Beach, a much shorter circuit than VIR was. 3 laps of qualifying. You've got your 1 standing start out lap, and then the 2 flying laps with ghosted vehicles on, so the cars won't have to maneuver around each other. However, they will have to try to keep it as clean as possible because with walls on either side of the track, one of a tap too strong, and you'll quickly have a dirty lap. Oh, a little hiccup there on the frames. It looks like we have recovered, and qualifying is getting ready. By the way, I did try to sort out the instant replay situation. I know what I've done, and I've goofed it up. I've got to fix it. Unfortunately, I can't fix it while I'm streaming, so I'll have to do that after the broadcast. Do know that for week number 2, we will have our X-Venture replay back up and running. By the way, you guys let me know if the audio is good or bad. I don't know how it was there during that last race out at VIR, if it was too loud or too quiet. I hope I didn't go one way or the other with the audio. I did get a new computer, so broadcasting Forza Motorsport 7 is new to me on this machine, and so I want to make sure I've got the right mix of audio. Right now, yeah, we continue to have a few frame drops. Not sure what that's all about. Carbon! Carbon's in the house! Carbon is in the house. Long time no see. Audio is great. Sound is all good. Now, if only the frame rate could keep up. I'm not entirely sure what's going on with frame rate right now. It should recover. It's probably just Bob down the street is downloading. He's pirating all his videos, so he's making us all suffer. Damn you, Bob! Onion with too many eyes heads into, pardon me, as I get back to calling the action here at Long Beach. Goes into turn number 9, 10, and then 11 back out onto the straightaway across the line. I have been good. I'm doing great now that I'm back with FM4 after a little bit of a hiatus. I relocated, moved to the Centennial State. New digs, new job, and got all that sorted, and so here I am. Here I am! Back live on Tuesdays. What a great way to spend Tuesdays. For those of you who are longtime viewers, you've heard me say it a million times, but it's just the gosh darn truth. Tuesdays suck. Mondays are okay. I can come out of Monday feeling good knowing that, hey, the week has started. At least it's not the beginning of Monday. But Tuesdays? Fortunately, we've got hump day tomorrow, so get halfway through the week and find ourselves closer to another weekend. Hope y'all are staying happy and healthy. And oh my gosh, we got ourselves a chime here. Frozen Toes 24 bringing over 11 of her viewers. Welcome to the Frozen Toes community. Thank you so much, Frozen, for the raid, and hope things are going great for you as well. Frozen Toes, if you're not yet watching on Twitch, make sure you head on over to that channel and give it a follow or a subscribe. A lot of great racing content. I've seen iRacing, I've seen NASCAR, the NASCAR series. I've seen things that aren't racing. Head on over there for a good time, and tell her Xventure. I can't even say my own name. Tell her Xventure sent you. All right, let's throw some stats there in the bottom left. I'm sorry, I'm just so caught up in the fun of being back here that I'm forgetting to press all the buttons. We've got SFM Darkser right now with a 133, and as soon as I say that, LS Subaru comes across the line on the second lap, the first flying lap, with a 132.386. 132.386. It is fun. I'm telling you, the Forza Spec Racing Series, Tora, the only two leagues that I know who have just continued to provide great content via Forza Motorsport 7. The racing we just saw there in race number 1 it's unparalleled to really anything I've seen anywhere at any time. It was phenomenal. Big kudos to SFM Darkser and Witchy Lady for putting that show on. I know Darkser earlier in the chat saying, I'm not feeling the love. I don't know how you couldn't. You had the camera on you the entire time. All right, here we go into turn number, this is going to be turn number 6 and then 7. 7's a little kink coming out here. I don't even know why they consider it a corner out here at Long Beach, but there you go, right there, the little kink, and then into turn number 8, which is quite possibly the most troublesome corner, at least from what I've seen out here at Long Beach. It's very easy to miss your mark. You find yourself head first into the tire wall, and then boom, you have spread donuts all over the track. And nobody likes it when you're the person who spread the donuts all over the track. Normally, donuts are a good thing, yeah? Normally. And across the line is LS Subaru. He's going to hold on to that top time, at least for now, with a 132.291. That will be pole on back-to-back races here to kick off Season 44. All right, for those of you who have wagered your points, let's take a look here. Top 10, 98% of you, or 16,500 channel points, saying that Fear will finish in that top 10, whereas 2% of you, which is 380 channel points, so going for the big payout here, says that Fear the Fun will finish in 11th or worse. We're about to find out. We are about to find out. All right, I'm going to jump out of the lobby. And we'll take a look at the times. We'll try to make sense of it all. Unfortunately, here in Forza Motorsport 7, they don't sort the event results, at least for these kinds of sessions, by best lap, which makes it a little tricky for us to understand who finishes where, but we'll do our best. SFM Darkser with a dirtied 133. That's going to put Darkser at the back of the pack. It doesn't matter what your time is. The fastest dirty lap will always be slower than the slowest clean lap. Run that one through your noggin. 133 dirty there for Darkser. Onion with 135. Lemon with a 134. Pardon me, adding 10 extra seconds there to Lemon's time. Modern Weapon, pardon me, with a 135, a 132 there for LS Subaru. Again, good enough for pole. Sorry, I've got the audio in the background. Fix that. LS Subaru, I just mentioned, on pole. Cuda 93 with a 139.7. LS Barney with a 133.8. Born as Ghost with a 138.3. Kracham with a 133.7. Witchy Lady, keep an eye out on that driver. 134.7, which is not going to be good enough for row number 1. Maybe not even good enough for row number 2. But that doesn't mean anything when you've got 19 laps of racing out here. We'll see if the Witchy Lady is able to move up through the grid. Optic Shadow with a 139.7, a 134.1 for Audrex. Fear the Foam with a 134.6. Slow Motion Fire with a 135, a 137 there for Patches Riley. And Aaron with a 139. Dirtied. And again, those of you coming over from Frozen Toes channel, thank you so much. If you're new here and you like racing content, do you like racing content? We're going to have it here on Tuesdays, 8 p.m. Eastern, for the next 4 weeks after tonight. Forza Spec Racing Series season number 44. It's always a lot of fun. This season, they're racing in the 1973 Mazda RX-3. Please click that follow button if you do, in fact, enjoy the time, and we'll be happy to have you back and all that fun stuff. All right. The drivers are getting readied up. We're going to see here, for those of you, again, who wagered the channel points, where Fear the Fun qualified, and then we'll pay that one out, and then we'll get another predictor up there for race number 2. Race number 2, Long Beach, 19 laps, as I've mentioned. Stay put after the race. We'll talk about what's ahead for week number 2. We'll talk about the other things that are happening here on the channel. Maybe you're not the biggest of racing fans and you would like to see some other content here on XVenture. Well, guess what? You're in luck. We've got it. You can also scroll down below here, twitch.tv/XVenture. You'll see all those square tiles there below the big video block where you're watching right now. If you scroll down below, you'll see all those tiles. It kind of gives you a preview of what's to come. You click on any one of those, it'll take you to the schedule, and there's also one there for the Forza Spec Racing Series. You click on that one, it'll take you over to reddit.com/r/ff4 for more info about the league and how you too can take part. Let's see. Let's take a look over at the driver interview. We've got Misaki, the Artsy Japan. So you're going to have to give me your gamer tag because I can't make the connection here.
I'm the Witchy Lady.
The Witchy Lady. Well done. Standing ovation. Claps in the chat.
Thank you.
I would like to think that probably you've had a lot of phenomenal battles through your time in Forza Motorsport, but that was, I'm ranking it number 1 at least on the list of ones that I've seen.
Thank you. Yeah, no, that was a lot.
It was a lot. There were plenty of instances where Darkser decided he was going to line it up on the back bumper and harass you that way. There were other times going into turn number 7 where he gets up on 2 wheels and just kind of nudges the vehicle. And then other times, like there through the Oak Tree, turn 11 and turn 12, where perhaps he's got a different line, a different speed, gives you a good knock, but you were relentless in giving up that spot.
Yeah, I was busy. I was too busy having a heart attack to try to defend properly, but I did what I could. The actual race itself, I mean, oh my god. Okay, well, first of all, the car handles very bizarrely.
Okay.
It actually handles more like a classic Grand Prix car, in that you kind of have to slide it to get the most speed out of it. So already that kind of favors the defender a little bit more than the attacker, which is nice. Also, I mean, frankly, I'm actually just kind of used to driving like older cars like that in general. So
okay.
I was actually kind of surprised that I was able to hold him off for so long. And then we got connected. Oh god, connected so many times on that last lap. It was crazy because I think we got Forza glued to each other no fewer than like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah,
a
the
lot.
Forza, the glue, the invisible magnets seem to be in full effect at some points throughout the race.
Yeah, that typically happens when you connect with another car's rear quarter panel, and you and the other car just kind of go straight instead of turning, and it's a real pain in the neck. No, it was great. It was great fun. Let's do it again.
Yes, please, let's. Like I told Darkser, a little bit more precarious out here at Long Beach. You try to do too wide for very long, it could end up pretty nasty, but would love to see another battle. Talking to Witchy Lady here in the chat as we get ready for the 19 laps out at Long Beach for our final race of the evening. You talked a little bit about the relationship with the vehicle, how stubborn and kind of awkward it can be, but what about the performance index itself? C500, is this your sweet spot? Is this where you like to run, or would you prefer to be elsewhere?
Well, typically I started off running the ABCs, so I ran, C, B, A, and S class. That was sort of my jam from like Forza 2 onwards. So C class, yeah, is right in the sweet spot for me. This particular car I did run in like public lobbies just to see where it's at. It's actually pretty fast for what it is if you can tune it properly. It definitely has like noticeably more understeer than snap oversteer than I think I was expecting at first. But I would say that it's actually a pretty competitive C-Class car in general if you can get the hang of the quirks of the handling model. So
there you go. The
Yeah.
car's competitive. Witchy Lady's competitive. It should set us up for another great race here, race number 2. Any quick shout-outs? I saw a few folks cheering you on there in the chat.
Yeah, I actually saw a few folks cheering me on as well. I don't know where these people materialize from, to be honest, but I really appreciate it. A couple of the people I actually do liveries and paints for and stuff. I do a lot of artistic work, and so people commission me a lot. And so some of those people can drop by the chat and stuff. But yeah, no. Well, okay. One person who is cheering me on the whole race is Fem Racer, so shout out to you.
There you go. Fem Racer, shout out there in the chat. Witchy Lady, well done there in race number 1. Best of luck to you here in race 2.
Good, thank you.
All right, they're all ready to go here. Well, most of them are. Witchy Lady will get queued up, and then LS Subaru as well, and then that'll be all 16 drivers that we have here for race number 2. Again, unfortunately, it looks like we've lost somebody. Sprizaus, from what I could tell, is the AWOL driver here for race number 2, getting ready to go out to Long Beach. Let's see here. Let's make this a prediction. Let's make this a prediction. Who will finish out front? And by that, I mean, which of these 2 drivers will? Will it be the Witchy Lady? Or will it be SFM Darkser, who unfortunately for Darkser has a lot of ground to recover, or to come back from after getting a dirty lap there and qualifying a 133. And so cast your vote there. I mean, you might think there's an obvious answer to this one based on the starting order. However, you never know. Long Beach has done some terrible, terrible things to some wonderful, wonderful drivers. LS Subaru is on pole for the start. Kick the tires, light the fires, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go, race number 2, our final race of the evening. It is LS Subaru trying to go back-to-back. Race 1, race 2, that would be 100 points total here in week number 1, if he can capitalize. Going into that first corner here. Keeping it clean, off the wall. You see a couple of cars there in the background. Let's go ahead and scoot back there. LS Barney in 3rd position right now. Gives a little nudge to the rear right quarter panel of Cratrim, who's in 2nd for the 2nd time in a row here. He's going to try to hold on to that and perhaps even get out in front of Subaru if he can. Audrex in 4th, Lemon in 5th, Witchy Lady back in 6th position, Fear the Fun in 7th, Modern Weapon is in 8th, Soul Motion Fire in 9th, Patches Riley is in 10th, and for those of you who are curious, SFM Darkser not making a lot of progress at this point, sitting back there in 14th position. Again, great having you here tonight on a Tuesday evening. For those of you who might be watching this on demand, thank you so much for doing that. I see the on-demand numbers, and they're always spectacular. So for those of you who can't see us live, do know that I appreciate you tuning in whenever you can and watching this back on your own availability. If you are not yet following the channel, please go ahead and click that follow button. And for those of you who wish to go above and beyond to support the channel, we do have subscription options available to you, which will allow you to avoid seeing those pesky ads. And of course, all the contributions, all the proceeds that I receive after Twitch takes their cut goes toward the production of the broadcast. But then also, from time to time, we do some viewer giveaways. Across the line they go, the end of lap number 1. Witchy Lady up to 5th position now from 6th. Modern Weapon, who's back there in 6th at this moment, is going to be followed by Slow Motion Fire, Patches Riley, Kuda 93, and SF and Darkser, just like that, has jumped 4 spots up into 10th. Let's go up to 4th again, LS Barney. He was in 3rd, has dropped back his position as Odd Drex in the Puma liveried 1973 Mazda RX-3. Goes up to a podium spot, at least for now. DW40 Sparafart says, Witchy Lady is a lady. Well, there you go. I've raised her in ABCs quite a bit. And I'm sure you, too, have had some great battles. DWM Frog says, great interview, Witchy Lady. Good luck in race number 2. Well into the inside there on the concrete barrier was Drex. And I don't know. It seemed like a good line, but LS Barney was able to find a way around here on the back straightaway. That is the East Seaside Way here in Long Beach as they get ready to go by the aquarium there on the left as we're viewing the cars head on. And so LS Barney, at least for now, will go back up into 3rd. Line it up for the hairpin here. Turn number 11. Back out onto the straightaway, coming up to the start-finish line, beginning of lap number 3. Again, running through the order, it is Subaru in 1st, Kratrum in 2nd, Deja Vu coming out of race number 1. 3rd is Barney, 4th is Drex, Witchy Lady in 5th, Slow Motion Fire, Modern Weapon, Kuda. SFM Darkser moves up yet another position from the previous lap, now in 9th spot. The 9th spot. Patches Riley in 10th. Fear the Fun drops back to 11th. Lemon in 12th. We've got Onion. Oh, it looks like Onion maybe turned around here on the front. Well, no, actually, that's somebody else. The little icons didn't sync up. Born as Ghost in 13th. That was Fear the Fun. Fear the Fun having some sort of incident there. Not even in the turn number 1. It's a curve there coming off of the start-finish line, but they don't consider it an actual corner. And if we take a look at the vehicle, yes, in fact, quite a bit of damage there to the front and side aero, that left suspension and the braking. So Fear the Fun, I would doubt it if he sticks around for another lap without going into pit lane. I highly doubt it. Oh, we've got another vehicle turned around. That's going to be... Who is that? That's Aaron's. We've got Aaron's now. Who looks like, well, maybe it wasn't Aaron's. It's somebody else there. They're parked. Oh, it's Born as Ghost. Born as Ghost just having an unfortunate night here. Off to a very rough start here in Season 44. Back to Kratrim, who's in 2nd, trying not to lose sight of LS Subaru, but it is very difficult. I mean, LS Subaru is not just leading because he's leading. He's won back-to-back championships here. 42-43 would be the first if he's able to secure the three-peat, the trifecta, the hat trick, whatever other sport you appreciate. You can throw the cliche, the proverbial term, insert here. LS Barney holding on to 3rd. It has shook Drex a little bit as there's about a car and a half, 2-car length lead. Now as they hit the West Shoreline Drive underneath the roller coaster. Witchy Lady in 5th. Entering turn number 8. Again, it's difficult, and there goes Witchy Lady grabbing a little bit of the wall. And Carbon with the community gift subs there. The subscriptions to Slow Motion Fire and Floofy. Thank you so much there, Carbon. And congrats there to Slow Motion Fire and Floofy, who's been a participant in the Forza Spec Racing Series, picking up a Tier 1 sub. You're thanking me. I'm thanking the drivers because, man, between Tora, Forza Spec Racing Series, drivers could easily just kind of give up. The game's been out for a long time. You've raced the same cars. You've raced the same tracks. So series will have come and then gone, but no, not the case here. And man, if tonight is any indication of what we have to look forward to for the next 4 weeks, was that Samuel L. from Jurassic Park? Hold on to your butts. It's going to be a fun one. Buckle up. Optic Shadow, one of the back markers in the mix here between Cratrium, our second place racer, and LS Barney. LS Barney's like, get out of my way. And oh, he collects Barney. Fortunately enough for Barney, I think he's going to be able to come out of here without much damage, if any at all. A little bit of transmission damage. That actually might be a result of Barney's driving style versus actual damage in that collision. But yes, Barney's going to be able to avoid a stop in pit lane with that little bit of contact there. Optic Shadow. That corner is... If there's any on this track that will really just spoil a run for you, it is turn 8. Convince me otherwise. Let's go to Kuda in 7th. Try to give a little bit more love to some of the drivers who are mid-pack to the back of the pack. Kuda here in 7th. About mid-grid. And we do see Modern Weapon. Modern Weapon there coming out of pit lane. He'll exit here on East Shoreline Drive. You got to be careful because as you notice there from Kuda, those drivers will swing it out along the concrete barrier, trying to line it up nicely for turn number 1. Clearly for FM4, they've said, yes, you can extend the track. I think in the real world, you're not able to because of that pit lane exit. That would be a health and welfare issue if this were real world racing, but not the case here in the virtual world. Back to Witchy Lady in 5th. She's got Audrex up ahead in 4th and closing in fairly quickly here. Witchy Lady possibly going to pick up 2 spots and get back into 3rd. Would really love to see if she can make a run for 2nd there with Cratrium. We got a 3-way battle here for 9th between Onion, who's the current 9th place driver, Patches Riley, and Lemon. Lemon all the way back in 11th position. He's got that Grand Theft Auto Sprunk. It's Sprunk livery. Not at all. Not at all Sprite. No correlation. No semblance there. Patches Riley! Oh, gets up into the wall. Patches Riley then gets spun around, a little bit of a pit maneuver. Lemon's going to say, yeah, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and go around. Lemon was waiting for a moment there, but with traffic coming up behind them, the last thing they wanted to be was a roadblock, and so Lemon goes ahead and proceeds. We'll see if Patches Riley is able to catch back up, but yes, Lemon not having a wonderful run here in race number 2 at Long Beach. Going back up to 4th with Audrex. And yes, unfortunately, the X-Venture rewind is not working properly, to my own fault. I didn't set it up correctly, so I'll get that fixed before week number 2, and we'll be able to do some cutbacks, jump backs to some of this action here. Here comes Witchy Lady. You see her right there in the green Zelda car. 5th position, closing in. It was Lemon who was in this position a race ago, watching on as Witchy Lady and Darkser battled it out. Now we'll see how long Witchy wishes to stay put, while while spying Barney and Drex. Barney coming out with 2 wheels, burning rubber there out of that hairpin. Rip patches as a lamb slide. Yeah, unfortunately, these things happen. These things happen. Take a look at the predictor. Oh, look at, well, this is an interesting one. A little bit less lopsided. 65% saying that the Witchy Lady will come away with a better finish than SFM Darkser. However, 35% of you not entirely in agreement. 1.1 channel, 1.1 thousand channel points, 1,100 channel points, saying that SFM Darkser will finish in front of Witchy Lady. Well, it's still possible. We've got 19 laps there. A lot of racing left to go here this evening. Let's get up to Cratrim here in second, who, skims the wall. Carbon, I don't know. Darkser making up 9 spots and is behind her. Yes, Darkser is in 6th. I mean, the wager made a lot more sense than the starting order would suggest. You look at the starting grid and you're like, well, Darkser's back. He's got a dirty lap. He's back there with a 133 dirty. All the way back there, he's going to deal with all the traffic. Well, here we are. Darkser in 6th, Witchy Lady in 5th, Drex in 4th, Barney in 3rd, Cratrim in 2nd. This could set us up for a phenomenal photo finish. Don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. There's a lot of racing, but we'll be done here within the next 20 minutes. So for those of you who've got other things to do here for your Tuesday evening, whatever that might be, fear not. We're gonna wrap this one up with a nice little bow. I think it's gonna be an exciting one, and we'll be back a week from tonight with week number 2. More 2-race action all the way through week number 4. Week number 5 is the finale out at the Nürburgring GP. The driver with the most championship points wins the championship. Imagine that. But then also gets to pick the vehicle for season number 45. Season 44's vehicle picked by LS Subaru, who has won not only season 43, but then also won season 42. We're hanging out here with Darkser. In 6th, you see Born as Ghost, who's just retired it off head first there right before turn number 8. What a frustrating showing for him. And like I said, this will count as the drop week. We'll see if Born as Ghost can make the most of the next 7 races. Has to. Has to. You want to learn more about FM4? Perhaps want to participate? Head on over to reddit.com/r/FM4. Got all the deets. All the deets are over there. Here comes Darkser. All right, let's get back up to that battle for 4th position. It is Witchy Lady behind Drex. We'll put the camera here on Drex. Actually, let's back that up a little bit. Let's put the camera here on the Witchy Lady, and let's ride on board here a lap around Long Beach. Witchy Lady making ground here on Drex. About a car and a half length lead there for Drex as they cross the line, beginning of lap 11. Pulling away a little bit is LS Barney. And yeah, Barney wants to create as much separation as possible. If not to hold off Audrex, then to hold off the Witchy Lady, who is going to try to, I'm guessing here, make a move sooner rather than later, because behind her is, oh, wouldn't you know it, SFM Darkser, Carbon there saying Darkser lurking. He is. That he is. Into turn number 6, then 7, before the right-hander out onto East Seaside Way. Lovely day here at Long Beach. Mostly sunny skies. Drex going to use every bit of the track there coming out of turn number 8. And here we go, side by side into turn number 9. It is Witchy Lady Audrex. Witchy Lady in the best spot because she's on the outside here through turn number 10. But then that will be the apex line, the inside line here through 11. Right up onto the concrete barrier. Out onto the straightaway. They are side by side. Down to the finish line they come for the beginning of lap number 12. Witchy Ladies got it. Audrex 5th, SFM Darkser in 6th position. They did it again. They're doing it again. It's happening. It's happening. Slow Motion Fire in 7th, Onion in 8th, Lemon in 9th, Patches Riley is in 10th, Kuda in 11th, Aaron's in 12th, Fear the Fun way back there in 13th, just got lapped, Modern Weapon in 14th, and Optic Shadow. 15th, Born as Ghost, kind of parked it off into the corner there in 18th position. All 18 drivers still out on the track. Did we have 18? Oh, we must have got an 18th driver there coming out of qualifying, I guess. That or I don't know how to count. Oh, there's only 16. Only 16. Yeah, that's where we should be. Exactly. All right, you see LS Barney up there now is, a little bit, well, able to rope it back in. It looked like a bad entry into that corner, but then Witchy Lady able to get through the middle line pretty smoothly. Let's go ahead and put the camera back on Darkser, who is still in 6th position. Getting ready to pounce. Has come back from 14th, was it? Yeah. From 14th now up to 6th. And going to go ahead and swing it out wide and see if he can bring it back down the low side. No need to because Audrex loses a little bit of grip on the acceleration out of 11. That horseshoe, that hairpin. And now here comes Darkser ready to make the move. And wouldn't you know it here? Wouldn't you know it, with 7 laps remaining, we're about to see another Witchy Lady and Darkser battle, this time for 4th. And we'll see if they're able to reel in Barney, who is there in 3rd. Cratrim in 2nd. Racing on his own little island with the exception of some of the back markers that he has coming up. And our race leader, LS Subaru. On board with Darkser. Oh, tags the wall. Moves it within a half a car length. Darkser looks to the low line. Oh, what a daring move that was. Could have easily found the right side of his car, smushed into the wall. Instead, just kind of gets up onto the side of Witchy Lady and just, a little friendly wave hello there as they go window to window. Darkser, at least for now, will concede 4th. He's going to bring it out wide here. Entering turn number 1, Witchy Lady stays kind of right out on the main driving line here for that part of the track. and is able to keep a nice clean line there through turn number 1. Got some back markers coming up. That's going to make things interesting. More so here than out at VIR. Again, you just don't have the wiggle room. You don't have the room for error here at Long Beach. You think you do. Try it. See what happens. Those walls come quickly, even in C500 Performance Index. The RX-3, and yeah, look at that. All kinds of moving around as Witchy Lady and Darkster just creating their own path, trying to set up their own lines for a pass. Not happening there. Now into 9. Witchy Lady locks him up a little bit. Oh, and gets squirrely on the exit. And let's see if Darkster tries it again. He does! And grabs the rear quarter panel, perhaps even the brake lamp there of Witchy Lady. Darkster moves out in front. Witchy Lady, I think, had to go into pit lane. Witchy Lady, I think, had to go into pit lane. She does. Oh, no. There you go. You barely make out the vehicle there underneath the Toyota bridge that extends over the pit lane entry. And so with that, LS Barney holds on to second. Well, actually, pardon me. LS Barney is up to second now. Cratrium falls back to third. Not sure what happened, if Cratrium had a little bit of a tussle with the back markers or what. But your Lightspeed Motorsport Team driver of Barney moves up to second. Cratrium to third. Darkster to fourth. Drex in fifth. Carbon says, well, not how I wanted to win my channel points. Well, yeah, those of you who wagered a guess on Darkster, looking good at the moment. Yes, we still have a few laps to go, but that pit stop there for Witchy Lady, that's a killer. And as a result, it's going to put a damper on the point situation for Witchy Lady here in week number 1. Could have been a lot better, but now on the brink of falling out of the top 10. Yes, I think the Witchy Lady will probably claim a few of these spots back, but not the same as a third, fourth, or even fifth place finish. Yikes. SFM Darkster, fourth position. He went to the inside there, turn 11. If I had the X-Venture replay running, I most certainly would have grabbed that one. Unfortunately, again, the instant replay is down for the night. I'm going to get it fixed. It's all my fault. But Darkster going in on the inside line there, heading into the hairpin. That is turn 11, the final corner here out at Long Beach. And it was a little bit difficult to tell from the angle whether or not he actually made contact with Witchy Lady's rear bumper, or if it was on the rear right quarter panel. Not that that really matters. I mean, contact was had, and as a result, it kind of spun Witchy Lady in a bit, and as a result, there was damage. Damage too great that Witchy decided to go ahead and turn it into pit lane. Cratrium now, as we see, falling back to fourth, getting passed by Darkster, and at risk of falling back to fifth now with Drex. It begs the question as to whether or not Cratrium has maybe some transmission damage that is not allowing him to be as quick as some of these other top drivers. Let's go to Cratrium's vehicle and see if we can kind of... Oh, yes, Cratrium actually is driving on some pretty significant damage here. No transmission damage to speak of. Well, make that 4% now. 100% damage to the front arrow and side arrows, the side skirts. Then he's got suspension there on the front left, and front left braking as well. So Cratrium just staying out on the track to try to eke out as many points as possible despite the damage. May be able to hold on to fifth. The next closest driver having a phenomenal run here out at Long Beach is Slow Motion Fire. And with 2.5 laps remaining, we'll see if Slow Motion Fire is able to perhaps jump into the top 5. And even behind Slow Motion Fire there is your the Onion with one too many eyes. How about that? So where it looked like Cratrium and Subaru, we're going to go back-to-back second and first respectively here in week number 1. That deck got shuffled a little bit. Subaru does look to be our race winner, out there by a sizable lead. And with 2 laps remaining, having just crossed the line, it looks like 300, it looks like 100 points are going to be given to Subaru here in week number 1. A good start for somebody who's trying to be the first driver to go back-to-back-to-back in championship points, or in championships. Going for the sweep. We had a golden broom created one season when it looked like somebody might get the sweep. Can Subaru not only get back-to-back championships, but then sweep the entire season, and that is to say, finish first in all 9 races? Audrex, 4th. Got Onion, or excuse me, Cratrium. Cratrium, again, with that damage, don't look for him to move up any here. 5th is probably about as good as he could do. Yes, the sweep was denied. It most certainly was. Denied. All right, coming up out of turn number 11, there you go. The Gulf colors, but I don't think it's the Gulf livery. No, there's some other sponsors on there. Ron. Coming up across the line for the lap, the final lap, the ultimate lap of the night. Lap number 19, that 20th one that you see in the upper left, that's just a cooldown lap. So after this one here, Subaru will pick up the victory. Let's go to 3rd here. SFM Darkser looks to be about maybe 2 seconds behind, maybe one full second behind LS Barney. Claim. And he claims silver here in race number 2. I was really hoping for like a 4 or 5 way finish here. Barney, Darkser, Audrex, Cratrium, Witchy Lady. That'd have been something, huh? Let's go to Slow Motion Fire right quick. Well, actually, this is Onion. Was slow there in 6th. If he can continue to hold on to his line, Slow will finish in 6th position. And now we go back up to Darkser here. They enter East Seaside Way for the final time. Right up onto that back bumper. Will Darkser go for the inside line at turn 11? The hairpin once again. He brings it far out wide, entering turn number 9. Here they come up to 10. Looking to the outside, and that's where it's going to line you up for the inside line here on the final right-hander. Does he do it? He does! Make some contact, drives the driver's side door panel into the front bumper of Barney and SFM Darkser. 2nd position, Barney in 3rd. Audrex in 4th. Cratrium with all the damage will hold on to 5th. Let's go to Onion here. Can he make a move around Slow Motion Fire? And I think he did. Yes, Onion getting around Slow Motion. Slow must have had a something go awry there in turn number 11. Then we've got FZA Lemon, who's made it up to 8th. Witchy Lady, for those of you who are curious, has made it back up into the top 10 just barely. Now up to 9th, and trying to get around the back marker of Optic Shadow. And so the Witchy Lady going into a pit stop after that contact with after SFM Darkser made contact with her in turn 11, able to move up 1 spot here to 9th. Patches Riley in 10th, Kuda in 11th, 12th goes to Fear the Fun, Modern Weapon in 13th, Optic Shadow in 14th, and Aaron's 15th. 16th belongs to Born as Ghost. All drivers managing to stay out on the track in one way or another. Let's go ahead and we'll do the payout here on the predictor. Congrats to those of you who voted in favor of SFM Darkser. That for the 35% of you, or at least 35% of the channel points wagered, they work in your favor. Subaru grabs first. Darkser and Barney second and third, respectively. Audrex in fourth. Cratrim, again, able to hold on despite all the damage. Sticks it out in fifth position. Then you've got Onion and Slow, followed by Lemon and Witchy. And rounding out the top 10 would be Patches, Kuda, Fear, Modern, Optic, Aaron's, and Born. All right, folks, some of you guys know the drill. We're going to go ahead and go into another ad break. Again, the beauty of this is that I'm able to run the ads in between the racing and not during the racing. For those of you who are not subscribers to the channel, if you're able to kind of just hang tight, deal with the 3 minutes of ads, be greatly appreciated. It does support the channel, and it does allow those, even though we're done with racing for the evening, allows those folks who are joining us a little bit later here during the interviews, and then of course a look ahead to avoid seeing the ads, the pre-roll ads, and instead can jump right into the fun. Play some music for those of you who are subs, so enjoy that. Make those emotes bounce. Make them bounce. Have them dance here on the screen. Making the intermission screen a little bit more fun. You put the emotes in there, and then boom, they'll do their thing out there on the dance floor for about 15 seconds or so. I'll see you guys on the flip side of the ads. We'll talk to a few of our drivers here in the driver spotlight. And welcome back to XVenture here live on Twitch TV. Thanks to those of you who sat through the ads, and for the subscribers, thank you so much for your support. Got to listen to a few jams there while we were waiting to come back. Week number 1, it's a wrap. I'm going to deduct a few points from myself. I'll take a points hit for not having the instant replay working. We'll get that sorted out here for week number 2. That way we can revisit some of those great moments of the racing action that we saw here tonight. Well, we're going to miss these ones, but we'll see the future ones. Week number 2 is just around the corner. 1 week from tonight, same time, same channel. We'll be out at Dubai Mountain Circuit in reverse for 16 laps. Hockenheim Ring. I love the Hockenheim Ring. As flat of a track as it is, it's a good one. 17 laps around the National Circuit. So a little bit of an abbreviated course. 17 laps, then you see the what's on par, or not on par, but on tap for week number 3, 4, and then the finale in week 5, concluding on February the 8th. All races, all racing action, all broadcasts starting at about 8 p.m. Eastern. I'll be on a little bit beforehand, so you guys can kind of come in here and we'll chat it up a little bit. We'll talk about what's going on, and maybe we'll get a few drivers in here. Speaking of getting a few drivers in here, let's turn on over to the interview section. We've got LS Barney, who's in there. Barney, able to finish out in 3rd position there in that second race at Long Beach. I would say a pretty respectable finish. Unfortunately, Darks are able to get around you there in the last couple of laps.
Yeah, I was holding second for a few laps at the end after Cratchum's accident. Still not sure what happened, but yeah, he was closing me down, and eventually he went for the move in the hairpin, just parked it on the apex, and left me nowhere to go. So he took the position right at the end. Kind of disappointing.
A good turnaround for you, finishing outside the top 5 out at VIR, able to get into the top 3 there out at Long Beach. Are you pretty well acclimated with the car now, or what are you looking at heading into week number 2? Maybe a few adjustments?
Honestly, I'm just gonna run the car the same way it was. I think it was just down to getting used to the car, finding a good setup for the car for the track. The less high speed stuff there is, I think the better this car will be. So hopefully just finding a tune that'll work for the high speed corners and just keeping the tune the way it is for the low speed corners.
Speaking of some high-speed corners, looking at the schedule here for week number 2, Dubai Mountain Circuit. There are definitely some high-speed ones there, followed by Hockenheim Ring. The way that you have the car set up, are you pretty excited about those? Will you be able to recoup some of the points that maybe you missed out here on week 1?
Yeah, I'm pretty excited for Hockenheim Ring. It's a great track. It's just I'm not too excited about Dubai. It's one of those tracks that I seem to struggle at, so hopefully I'm gonna try to do well there.
Got it. Talking with LS Barney here in the driver's spotlight at the conclusion of tonight's racing action, both race number 1 and race number 2, VIR and Long Beach. Barney, there is some fantastic competition out on the track. Darkser, who's not extremely foreign to the FM4 series, returns here in season 44. Witchy Lady, we saw what she's capable of here this season. Obviously, Oddrex is always in the mix there in the top 5. Another competitive season here for season 44.
Yeah, it's great to have, competition up here. Usually it's just, Subaru and Craytrum just running off with the race, leaving me behind in no man's land, occasionally with Audrix or, Audrix ahead of me, trying to chase him. But it's great to have more people towards the front to give me and Audrix more of a battle.
There at VIR, it seemed like you were keeping pretty good pace with, well, actually, that was Krejcik keeping pretty good pace with Subaru there in that first race of the evening. I don't know. With your experience of seeing Subaru out on the track, obviously he having won 2 championships prior to this season, is there any chance that somebody, whether it be you, Audrex, Krejcik, Witchy Lady, Darkser, who under the sun can prevent the three-peat from happening?
I don't think anyone can, honestly, but to be fair, I am slightly biased since Subaru is my teammate.
That's
But,
right.
you know, I don't think anyone will be able to beat him this season. I think he's shown just strong pace throughout both races and both during qualifying. So I think he's got this race or this season down again.
You talked about teammate there, LS. I'm assuming this is the new abbreviation for the Light Sports team, right?
Lightspeed, yeah.
Lightspeed. I'm sorry, Lightspeed. What do you guys have on tap? Maybe are you participating in any of the tour events? We saw the schedule released for the endurance series. Are you going to be a participant there?
Yeah, we've got one or two. I think we got two teams competing in the 24 Hours of Daytona. It's coming up in 2 weeks, I think. I'll be running in the faster class in the Mazda 787B.
From one Mazda to another, the RX-3 to the 787B. What a transition!
I'd love to say it's the only one, but I'm also running the RX-7 in the Tora Nippon Steel series. So 3 rotaries in a row.
Forza community, if you happen to be running another Mazda-based series, please reach out to LS Barney. Could definitely use another. The rain expert. Are you to blame for the? I think I know the answer already to this one. But Suzuka in the wet there in what is it? Week number 3.
Well, I mean, who else would it be, right?
I know. I had to ask.
If I don't choose it, no one else will. So.
He's known as the rain expert in the Forza Spec Racing Series community. You'll notice that on his Discord name. Will be out at Suzuka in the rain, week number 3, race number 6 of the season. LS Barney, any shout-outs tonight?
Yeah, shout out to Subaru for winning the race, obviously, and shout out to Darkser for that good battle at the end.
Indeed. All right, Barney. Well, we look forward to seeing you next week. Well done here this week, and perhaps even better in week number 2. All right, let's go ahead and who else would we bring in here? I actually don't know this guy. Who is this guy? Slow Motion Fire. Welcome to the driver's spotlight.
Good evening, Destin.
He's like, who am I? Who are you? Hey,
it's been so long.
You couldn't have saved a better way to kick off a season than what we saw here tonight. Some new names, at least for me. And plenty of great action in both races, race number 1 and race number 2. This is what it's all about.
Yeah, you couldn't ask for a better opening there. Race 1 was just crazy.
It was. My apologies for the fans of any other driver out on the track. We had our camera pretty much fixated there on Witchy and Darkser for probably about, 7/8 of that race. But enough about those two, and let's talk about you. You had a pretty good turnout here in race number 2, or a pretty good showing for yourself. Unfortunately, something went wrong there in the last couple of corners, unable to get around you. What happened?
Oh, that was all my fault. I was trying to be tricky and run the defensive line, and I ended up in a gear that, well, I lost track of what gear I was in and ended up in reverse.
Oh, I can attest. I've done that a time or two coming out of turn 11, that hairpin there, that final corner out at Long Beach. I don't know if you'll have a chance. So the question begs here, going into the replay here tonight, but then of course going back to everybody and saying, hey, well done, week number 1. Possibly folks will be talking about the incident between Witchy and SFM Darkster about mid-race going into turn number 11. Darkstar on the inside making contact with Witchy. Witchy has to end up into pit lane. For those who maybe are uninitiated, and perhaps this is their initiation to FM4, what does that look like? If there's any concerns about the any sort of incident on the track, how does that work out here in FM4?
Stuff like that just ends up being a racing deal. Everybody's pretty, cool about it and open about it and just go on with the race, because that's all that ended up being in the driver's chatter. They were just racing hard and kind of bumped each other, and no hard feelings. Yeah,
and of course, for those of you who are uninitiated to the Forza Spec Racing Series, I asked this of Slow Motion Fire, who is the organizer of this event and has done a phenomenal job over the years, ever since Forza Motorsport 4, in making it happen. Slow Motion Fire, I got to ask you. So we had LS Subaru, who's gone back-to-back in seasons. Sure enough, picks the Mazda RX-3 here for season 44. What do you think of his pick? How's the car treating you? Sure, you had a pretty good finish here at Long Beach, but what does the rest of the season look like?
Oh, I am enjoying this car. It's flashbacks to the Datsun season, to the F100 season. In my mind, it is just the right amount of slidey to keep these races fun and interesting.
Hear the fun saying it reminded him of the Alpha, and I'm trying to remember what Alpha that would have been, but it seemed like there's a lot of comparisons for this particular vehicle.
Yeah, it's a lightweight car. It's on tires that are just a little too small, and it's got power to get you in trouble if you're not careful.
Yeah, a little torquey, like I was saying at the beginning of the broadcast. That single turbo, a little aggressive with the throttle. It can burn up those tires pretty quickly, have you spinning out. Next couple of races, we've got Dubai. We've got gosh, what's the other one here for next week? It is Hockenheimring, Mugello, Suzuka in the rain. Road Atlanta, Le Mans Bugatti, and the Nürburgring Grand Prix. Which track are you looking forward to most?
Out of all of those, it's probably Hockenheimring. That's a track I enjoy racing quite a bit, especially the national circuit. And then I'm also looking forward to running at Mugello Club, just because, God, we haven't raced there in forever. So that'll be something a little different.
The Mugello Club coming down the hill, that final corner heading back toward the start-finish line. It's always chaotic in multiplayer. I can only imagine what it'll be like here. I mean, it'll be less chaotic in FM4. You guys are much more disciplined than multiplayer public lobbies. But yeah, I agree. Mugello, I will always love going back to, and even if it is that short, truncated track, that's going to be a lot of fun. I was talking with Fear the Fun earlier about LS Subaru and his back-to-back trying to go 3-time championships here. Has anybody shown some signs of maybe being able to give him a run for his money? Obviously, here in season 44, that's not been the case with 2 first-place finishes, but is there any hope?
I mean, if you just kind of look at those qualifying times, I mean, you're talking about kind of Cratrium, Darkser, Witchy. She was right up there. If they wouldn't have been side by side the entire race, they could have made up some ground on him possibly. But he had the advantage there, getting out early and just kind of running away.
Is there a special prize for the first driver to go with the hat trick and win 3?
Man, we had clear back when I think Mesosphere was racing, we had like a golden broom meme thing all made up, and we haven't had anybody come close in a while, so I might have to blow the dust off of that and dig it out if we start getting close to that again.
Golden brooms, we'll make it an emote. The chat can go wild with it, and we'll see if it actually comes to fruition, or if somebody's able to maybe put a stop to it here in season 44. Slow motion fire. Well done in keeping the fort up while I was gone. Not that I help at all, but great to know that everything was still clicking along, and that whenever I got everything sorted, I was able to join back here for season 44. Really looking forward to the next 4 weeks.
Well, and we got to give a shout out to Darkser there during that period too, because he covered 2 of the seasons, pulled broadcast duty. So
that's right.
He helped quite a bit on that front as well.
That's right. Indeed. The guy just is unrelenting here in the Forza community. He's all over the place and helping out and then participating here in season 44 and doing a great job at that. Slow motion fire. Look forward to chatting with you next week, and look forward to more racing action. It's going to be a great one.
I think so too. It's great to have you back, Dustin.
Alrighty, take care. Have a good evening. And let's see, I think we do have at least one more driver here in the driver's spotlight. The man himself, LS Subaru. And Subaru, we were talking with your LS teammate, Barney. He thinks that you're a shoe-in for another championship. Slow motion fire says, hey, looking at the qualifying times, you're just by far and away out there in front, untouchable. And so far, season 44 looking good. 100 points here in week number 1. You're well on your way for a 3-peat.
Yeah, been off to a pretty good start. I was kind of hoping that Barney would keep the second place, so we could get like an LS 1-2. That would have been fun. But it is what it is. He got P3 in the end. A podium position's always good. But yeah, I'm hoping to carry the momentum into next week.
So season 40, not season 41, but season 42, it was the Pontiac Trans Am. That's when you started your run here for the first championship. The Impreza WRX STI is the vehicle that you selected for season 43. You ultimately win in that one. Tell us maybe your thought process here selecting the Mazda RX-3 for the chance to go back to back to back.
Yeah, when it came to selecting the cars, it was a pretty easy process as to what car I wanted to choose. The Super, I was basically just choose my dream cars, and then once that's done, I've got like a set list of other cars to go through. The Subaru being like my number one dream car, and the RX-3 also being like another one. Um, but those are like the only two dream cars that I have that are really on the list. So the rest of them, I'll just be going through the car list and seeing which car fancies me more.
Got it. And knowing that you selected the car, the RX-3, and then Slow Motion Fire, Fear the Fun, and maybe some others go in and work on the configuration of it, what do you think of how it is set up here? C500 class, single street turbo. How does it drive for you?
Yeah. As for the car, it's definitely not an easy one to drive. Uh, Usually when it comes to cars that are usually when it comes to cars that only have adjustable downforce on the front and not the rear, they tend to be quite unstable because they don't have that downforce on the rear to kind of keep it on the ground for like the medium and high speed corners. So it kind of has this problem where it understeers, but then it also oversteers. So you kind of have to try and find a way to work around it and make the car at least somewhat stable or good to drive in a sense. I was actually kind of surprised that it was a C class. I was expecting it to be a B class
Mm.
car, but C class is also. I'm fine with C class. The car's actually a bit faster than I was expecting it to be, which is good.
Reining in all 233 horsepower here in the RX-3 for season 44. Is there one track here for season 44 that you're absolutely dreading? If we were to say, hey, this is the one that Subaru might stumble at, which one might that be?
Ah, jeez.
You got Dubai and Hockenheimring, Mugello and Suzuka, Road Atlanta and Bugatti Circuit, and then of course the Nürburgring GP for the finale.
To be honest, I gotta go with Dubai. Because like the high altitude,
Hmm.
very uneven surface, it's probably gonna be the RX-3 is gonna be a even more of a handful than it was this week.
And you got some close confines there as well with concrete barriers on either side of the track. So one mistake can be all it takes to take somebody out of a good position there. Subaru, wonderful drive here in week number 1, picking up right where he left off in seasons 43 and 42. We look forward to seeing you next week.
Thank you. See ya.
All right. I do see one other driver in there. We'll bring Onion back into the driver's spotlight. We talked with Onion earlier here this evening. Able to make that last pass for 6th place on Slow Motion Fire. He made a mistake, threw it into reverse, and off you went.
Yeah, did you catch that on the broadcast or no?
We saw, I think we did. I think it was just kind of in a blind spot for the camera. But I would have to go back to the replay and see.
Yeah, I don't know. I've just been reeling in slowly reeling in slow for the better part of the race, and I was not quite close enough to dive bomb him, but he made that mistake, and it was just over for him there.
Yeah, we did see that. I mean, we did flip back to the battle that you two had through those remaining laps, and we did see you close that gap. So for sure, none of that went over us. So we've seen incrementally from lap to lap you coming up through there. I'm trying to remember back to your finish out at Virginia International Raceway. Of course, this one being the better one, the better finish out at Long Beach. I don't. How are you feeling about how you finished here in week number 1?
I'd say it was a pretty solid start. The Ver one, I would have liked to have qualified better, but it is what it is there. And honestly, I felt like I drove better in the Ver race, but just managed to avoid some of the wrecks and stuff for Long Beach and stuck it out to the end.
That you did. And if I remember correctly from our VIR race, you were looking at the back of Audrex's bumper. Is it correct? I'm recalling this.
Yeah, Audrex's, yeah.
and you were so close. He was a couple of cars out in front of you. You had Kratrium separating you two as Kratrium fell back due to some damage. You weren't as close to Audrex that time. He was a few seconds out in front, but I don't know. That seems to me to be a great battle to watch. Is between you and Audrex here for the remainder of the season. Do you agree?
Probably, yeah. It depends on the tracks. Some of the tracks, like Suzuka and the wet, I'll be less confident at, but it'll be great to battle Audrex. He's very fun to drive against. He rarely makes mistakes. So
I could say it over and over again because it is so true. He is very, very consistent and very rarely fouls up and makes for a great performance on his part, but then also that's tended to have the drivers around him doing quite well as well, knowing that he's a very reliable driver. So that'll be a battle to watch, Onion and Audrex, in addition to Witchy Lady and Darkster that we've seen here. Onion, great chatting with you both times here this evening, and I suspect if you're here for week number 2, we'll speak again.
yeah, thank you.
Any shout outs hit tonight?
Yeah, my friends Lamslide and Green 3554 were in chat earlier.
Yep.
They came over, friends with them at school, and they wanted to tune in, so I sent them all the link, and it's good to see them in chat. I
agree. For somebody who's trying to do this for the viewers, it's nice to have viewers. For all of you who are watching even now, thank you so much for sending them our way. We'll see you next week here, Onion.
For sure. See ya.
All right, that wraps it up here. Driver Spotlight. Man, that was a lot of fun. Couldn't have planned a better comeback. I set the storylines. They followed the script impeccably. I'm kidding. Phenomenal drive by everybody out there. I mean, there are a few folks who obviously would have preferred much better evenings here. Sprazaus being one of them. I know we lost him early in the race number 1, and then was out for the remainder of the night. Born as Ghost, who's a very capable driver, unfortunately having an incident there in race number 1, and then things just not going right again out at Long Beach in race number 2. Has 4 weeks left to turn it around, 7 races in total. It's not out of the realm of possibility. We'll get the standings drafted up. We'll be able to run through those at the beginning of next week's broadcast. We'll talk to more drivers. We'll see more racing action, and we'll continue this all the way through February the 8th. Whew! So much fun. This is how Tuesdays are meant to be, right here. Tuesday evenings with FM4 Xventure. Y'all out there, for those of you who are chatting it up in the chat, for those of you who are kind of just relaxing and lurking, it all comes together for a very enjoyable evening. Let's do it again. Yeah? Let's make it a date. Tuesdays for the next 4 weeks, and then, of course, we'll be waiting for season 45 before you know it. DWM Frog there in the chat says, great start to season 44. Slow Motion Fire says, that is right. We've had a few come close, but in 44 seasons, no one has been able yet to do it. They're talking about the three-peat. And then Slaps nearly won the Golden Broom, says Funtang. They're alluding to somebody who drives and finishes and wins all 9 races in a single season. So will LS Subaru knock out 2 milestones in one season? Well, of course, you can't do it with just one season on the second milestone, but the first one being the Golden Broom, and then the second being the three-peat, the hat trick, the trifecta, whatever you want to call it. It's going to be fun to watch. Going to be a lot of fun to watch. For the new follows here tonight, Kukimon, who I didn't get a chance there as we were going through the interviews. Thank you so much for the follow. Kaiser Roll 55, Fem Racer, R for Race Mode 1, Lamslide, Green 3554, The Witch MD. Thank you so much for those follows. Again, Born as Ghost, thank you for your subscription a few days back. Thanks to Carbon, who gifted 2 subscriptions here to the channel, both Slow Motion Fire and Floofy. Enjoy those. And Frozen Toes, who wrapped up her broadcast and then sent those folks this way. Thank you all so much. What a wonderful, wonderful night. Had so much fun. Can't wait to get into the thick of the rest of the season here and see how these standings pan out. Here's what's ahead on the channel. Not just racing all the time, but we've got on Friday, hauling for the weekend. That's a little bit of an American Truck Simulator stream. Really having fun in that one. It will be one of my shorter Friday streams here, just a couple hour one starting at 7 p.m. Eastern. But tune in for that one as we go driving across the west of the continuous 48 states. Yes, continuous 48 states. And do some deliveries and stuff. That's always a good time. Get to chat it up with the viewers and just kind of kick back and relax there on a Friday evening. Sunday, 9 a.m. Eastern with Storytime Sunday featuring Horizon Zero Dawn. I think I've got about 4 broadcasts left of that playthrough. I didn't get as far as I would hope. I got sidetracked there on Sunday. This coming Sunday, hopefully I'll be a lot more focused. But what a fun game that is. A lot of fun there, Horizon Zero Dawn, as they get ready to release Horizon Zero Dawn, or actually it's Horizon Forbidden Lands. It's not even Horizon 2 or anything like that. Horizon Zero Dawn, followed by Horizon Forbidden Lands. Forbidden West? I don't know. I don't know the titles. And then, of course, goes without saying, we'll be back live a week from tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, for week number 2 of the Forza Spec Racing Series. Y'all take care. Have a good one. If you haven't yet pressed the follow button, that's okay. You can wait till I've logged off, and that way you can do it in the secrecy without the stream live. The follows are always greatly appreciated. That's awesome support for the channel. And for those, again, who wish to go above and beyond, avoid the ads, we've got those subscription options available to you, to include Twitch Prime. If you have your Amazon and your Twitch accounts linked together, then you can subscribe for free for 1 month. That way you can avoid all those ads, including those pesky ones that pop up at the bottom of the viewer. Even if they don't interrupt the broadcast entirely, they still pop up there. You can avoid seeing those with a sub, and then all those proceeds that come to me after Twitch takes their cut go directly back to the channel in terms of production upgrades, paying for licensing of music, all that kind of stuff, and then also whenever possible, some viewer giveaways. So y'all take care. Have a great rest of the week. Have a lovely hump day. Wednesday coming up, a fantastic Thursday. Hope to see you on Friday, maybe for some truck simulator, hopefully on Sunday. If not, the very least, there on Tuesday for week number 2. If you get any racing action in yourself, keep it fun, keep it safe, keep it clean. Everybody stay happy, stay healthy out there in the craziness that is the world here today, these days with the pandemic, the ongoing pandemic, and everything else. We want to see everybody back here happy and healthy a week from tonight. Until then, adios, farewell, good night, good day to you, sir. Appreciate you hanging out with me. Adios. Thanks, Twitch. Thanks for the extra audio in the stream. Twitch homepage. Folks, if you didn't get a chance to watch the stream in its entirety here and you'd like to, we're going to have a replay going. Hang tight, I'll get that going as soon as this broadcast ends. Yes, week 1, all over again, like it never happened. But did it?